for you to take a whole day out of your Friday to come and celebrate with us, to nominate women for this award. I know it's not an easy task, so I really appreciate you all doing that. I want to thank our sponsors, and in particular BASF, the Open University, and GKN Aerospace. I want to thank the judges, some of whom simply come because Griselda called. I know, so thank you all so much. And I want to take a minute to thank all of our finalists. We have certificates for all of you, so please don't leave empty-handed. I was thinking about what to talk about today. Normally I do a speech and I think about it and I plan it, and then I don't give that speech, I give a completely different speech. There was a lady in the audience who told me about a speech I gave in 2017 about a little mosquito. So I've realized that those stories really stick. So I'm going to give you another animal story. And I'll be starting off from last year's awards event where Bonita Harris spoke, and she spoke about climbing Kilimanjaro. And I, like all of you, was sitting in my chair with no intention of climbing a mountain. I was born in a beach town. I'm a beach girl. I spent my free time by the beach with sand in my hair. But for some reason, the speech she gave really stirred something in me. And it made me feel that I too could climb a mountain. But I didn't want to come here and talk about climbing Kilimanjaro. 30,000 people climb Kilimanjaro or attempt to climb Kilimanjaro every year. 50% of them make it. So I didn't think it was a big deal. And I wasn't going to talk about it. So I had to give myself permission to talk about my Kilimanjaro story, to own that success. It's because sometimes in the media, when you look around, you have people climbing Everest, you have people going on expeditions, you have people climbing El Capitan with no ropes, and you are just like, my story is meaningless. I have nothing to contribute. And so we discount ourselves, and we don't take a minute to celebrate our achievement. So today I want to remind you all that your contribution counts and it matters. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at the animal kingdom, I went to Tanzania, so I saw the safari. When you look at the animal kingdom, you see elephants with big trunks. You see giraffes with long necks. You see the eagle flying up to the sky. And you see the little hummingbird. And the hummingbird does not compare itself to a lion or to an elephant. They all contribute their little quota to the ecosystem. And it works because everybody's contribution matters. And I think we can take a message away from that. So my Kilimanjaro story started off November last year. I went and booked it. I got excited, and I got scared. And I asked a few friends to come with me, and they said no. And then when I was up in the air flying to Kilimanjaro, they had FOMO, and they wished they could have done it with me. But the journey going to Kilimanjaro took place in 3 stages. The start was very exciting. It's the rainforest. The temperature is warm. My legs are strong. My excitement carries me through. And for the first 2 days, I was thinking, wow, this is easy. I can do it. 2 days into the climb, as we all know in life, in the middle, it's not so sexy anymore as the start. It's a bit sticky and messy. It's a bit prolonged. The legs are very tired. The lungs are very tired. At Lava Tower, 4,000 meters above sea level, altitude sickness kicks in. I start vomiting. I have headaches. I can't see properly. And I was thinking, Griselda, who sent you to climb Kilimanjaro? But one of the men on my expedition looked at me and said, Griselda, I've been watching you for the past 3 days. You're strong. I know you've trained for it, and I know you can do it. And I want you to believe that you can do it. And I want you to take a moment and practice the things you've learned, and let's go. So I did my Wim Hof breathing. Those who follow him, you breathe, I breathe. I drank water, hydrated. I meditated. and I took it one step at a time. And lo and behold, I arrived on summit night. The night where you wake up at midnight to climb a mountain. And as the teenagers will say, the mountain just kept giving. The higher you climb, the higher you have to climb. And so again, all the mental preparation came in, and I kept going. Because you know what? By that point, I had come too far to give up. And I knew you were all on LinkedIn waiting to see if I had summited. So I had to finish. And so finally, I made it to the top of Kilimanjaro. And if you see the pictures from that moment, I was overwhelmed with gratitude. I was overwhelmed with joy. And I couldn't believe that I'd managed to do something that I never imagined doing a year after I'd headed. So, but the climax is very fleeting. After you've climbed Kilimanjaro, you have to walk down. And that took another 4 hours. Getting to a reasonable altitude where you can breathe. And there I knew I had finished my journey. I needed to be carried down. This is it. Crawled into my tent and told the guide, just leave me. Pack up and go. I've had it. And then he said, Griselda, just take a nap, hydrate, sleep, eat some food, and see how you feel. Just put your shoes on. And I did that. And you know what? I got up and walked another 4 hours after I thought I could not take another step. And so for me, the whole journey has been just such an experience, an opportunity to learn and to reflect and to realize that it's not really about the goal or the climax. It's about the journey. And wherever step we are, whether at the start or the middle or the end, we can always find the energy to keep going. So I want to end off with the story of the little hummingbird. So the hummingbird can be found in a safari in Africa. It's the tiniest bird, the size of a sheet of paper. It's beautiful. And there was a story that there was a fire in the forest. And guess what happened? In the midst of the fire, the elephants with the big trunk stood by the side. The giraffes with the long neck stood watching. The birds were all watching and wondering what was going on, transfixed by the torture, by the disaster they were seeing. And this little hummingbird thought to herself, I can do something. And the hummingbird, with her little tiny beak, flew to the river, picked up a drop of water, and took it to the fire. And back and forth she went, back and forth she went. And all the other animals laughed at her and said, what do you think you're doing with your tiny little beak? And that was the elephant with the big, ginormous trunk. And the little hummingbird said, at least I'm doing my very best. So today, I give you a message. Some of you have access to opportunities to budget, to people, to parliament, to funds. Don't just stand by and watch as some of us little hummingbirds fly back and forth, dropping little drops of water into the fire. The world needs more hummingbirds. And after I told that beautiful story to my husband, guess what he said? Did the hummingbird stop the fire? That was not the point. Thank you all so much. Have a lovely day.